During a recent campaign stop in Wisconsin, former President Donald Trump promised mass deportation and cited debunked claims of a Venezuelan gang takeover in Colorado.
And by the way, Colorado's one state. It's much worse in other states. But in Colorado, they've taken over. I mean, in Colorado, they're so brazen, they're taking over sections of the state. And, you know, getting them out will be a bloody story. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. Nobody checked them. Nobody checked. Were they criminals? Were they from jails? We have them pouring out from jails. We have the worst criminals in all of these countries. 168 so far are registered, 168 countries. They're in our country, and they said, if you come back, you will be executed, you will be killed immediately. Not going to be easy, but we'll do it. But they have no clue how to solve their influx of crime in Colorado or anywhere else. But far more importantly, heading this governor's way are numbers of bad people that nobody will ever believe. That's just a little small group of people that are taking over. These people are tough. I always say they make our criminals look like nice people.
Yeah, and you can believe Donald Trump because he is also a criminal, you know. No, this is ridiculous, okay? I mean, first of all, let me just address, getting them out will be a bloody story. What? But understand, though, that that's exactly what his fans want to hear. They want to hear about blood. They want to hear about violence. They want to see massive race-based deportation. It's sick. It's sick. And by the way, it's not based on anything that's true. The story that he cited, not true. Police have already refuted the claims by Republican Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman, who also contradicted his own claims. Now, first he comes out on Fox News and he's like, gangs of Venezuelan migrants have taken over the apartments in the city. Did it happen? No, it did not. Are there gangs? Yeah. Is there crime? Yeah. Just like in any city. The fact is that some of the gang members did operate in this city, and they happen to be Venezuelan. That point is why conservatives completely lost their minds. They did. They heard Venezuelan criminal, and immediately Pavlovian dog reaction to, oh my God, it's the border. Here's the thing, though. They're acting as if there's never been American gangs, like, I don't know, the Ku Klux Klan, for example. That's an American gang. But again, the mayor, getting back to him, who described this to Fox News as a, quote, organized criminal effort, said on Friday that, oh, you know what? Turns out I may have exaggerated just a little bit. Oh, really? Really?
Really?
Okay. He said, I certainly have concerns about the border. I have concerns about immigration policy. But from what I can see now, it seems to have an exaggerated importance. I'm not dismissing the concerns at all. But whatever happened initially, and he's talking to Newsweek here, whatever happened initially happened. What I can tell you now is that the gangs are not in control of either complex. You know what? It's because they never were. All right? These migrants, these gangs didn't just come up and be like, we are your new landlord. Look at us. We're your landlord now. No, that didn't happen. Apparently, there was no corroboration to any of the claims that the residents were forced to pay rent to the gang. Now, apparently, the property managers up and left, again, and the buildings were already in such a bad state of disrepair, okay, that the slumlord didn't want to take care of. Nobody had any control of these buildings, and the state, and the company that owned them was not even in the state, okay, out-of-state slumlord. Now, that slumlord is currently facing charges for letting people live in these awful conditions. His trial will be in February. Okay. And now that said, the mayor went on Fox News, lied about the problem, and then decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, this blew up in like the worst way possible for him. And so now I'm going to play both sides. That's right. He said, quote, both sides have their fingerprints on this problem. Adding that former President Barack Obama did not do enough to get a bipartisan solution. Now, again, Republicans tank every single piece of immigration reform that comes across their desk. Seriously, that's what they have done. Marco Rubio, back during the Obama years, actually had a halfway decent immigration proposal that he then voted against because it wasn't cruel enough for Republicans, for right-wingers. So now he blames Obama, okay, and then says, well, Trump is kind of at fault too. Now, I can actually agree with Donald Trump being at fault for partly for this, because remember, it was Trump that urged the Republican Party to tank an incredibly draconian bipartisan immigration bill. Now, I didn't favor that bill. Again, because it was too draconian, right? Too restrictive, okay? But Trump's like, oh, no, it's not that it's too restrictive. It's just that it would look bad for my campaign if you guys pass this. And again, Biden was looking forward to signing it. So it's not like he was like, oh, no, this is too tough on these migrants. I'm not going to sign them. I want this open border. No, Biden's like, pass it and I will sign it today. And Republicans are like, Donald Trump, what do you think? Trump's like, no, I want to campaign on this. I want to make things worse. I want to make things appear worse, and then I want to campaign on it. So don't you dare sign that. You're going to be a rhino. You sign it. It's just all pure, politics. That's what's going on here. And yet this guy is like, I don't know whose fault it is. It's Obama's fault, and it's kind of Trump's fault, but mostly Obama. Democrats. In fact, he said, quote, I just hope that Congress comes together and fixes this broken system. It's way too easy to come into this country illegally, and it's so hard to come in legally. I just think the situation we're facing right now is a product of a broken immigration system. No, what this is a product of a slumlord taking advantage of people, of migrants, okay, who are, by the way, running from crime, okay, to run from crime and then end up getting placed in what is a slum that, does, and people do get victimized by crime in these slums. That's not the fault of unsecure border. No, we have a secure border. We have slumlords too that take advantage of desperate people. That's what happened here. Now, the only thing that he gets right, though, by the way, is that, yes, it is too hard to come in the legal way. It's too hard to come in at all. This is why you have so many refugees, because, we have these international agreements where we can't really turn away refugees from war, poverty, etc. And guess what? Those people that come in with that, refugee status or asylum claim seekers, they get vetted. But now, coming in the legal way, by the way, it requires decades of waiting, red tape, endless forms, and, by the way, lots of money. I know people who have emigrated here. I know that it takes a lot of money. It's very hard to become a citizen. In fact, many of the undocumented immigrants that we have are actually people that had already come over with like a green card or a work visa and ran out of money. Couldn't afford to go back home. Yeah, there are costs for green cards. There are costs for work visas that can sometimes range from hundreds to thousands of dollars to apply for. Okay, well, you're not technically buying it. It's just the fee, for all the paperwork and stuff. So that's how they can get around this, whole issue of, well, you're just buying entry into the country. No, it's just a fee for processing. That's all it is. Like, people do not realize how expensive it is to actually come here and to apply for citizenship or just to live and work here on a temporary basis. It takes a lot of money and a lot of paperwork, and not everybody can keep up with it. And that's where you end up getting undocumented immigrants. Their documentation just runs out because you can't afford to renew it. Now, Donald Trump, by the way, he doesn't care. He wants to remove them all. At not only a great monetary cost, because imagine, right? We're taking billions of dollars to ramp up a deportation, a nationwide deportation force, right? To go and root out every immigrant, nook and cranny, you know, and send them back. Billions upon billions of dollars, right? And by the way, if they manage to remove all of them or the vast majority of them, guess what? You end up taking even more billions of dollars out of the system because undocumented immigrants, they already pay taxes. They pay billions of dollars in taxes that they almost never see a return on. That's right. So they actually, and they contribute to the local economies as well. Oh, that's out of the system. Temporary migrant workers, out of the system, gone. All right. So you're going to have vegetables rotting in the fields, which we've seen in places that have done these, you know, massive immigration crackdowns, like Florida, for example. You've got meat packing plants that'll be massively understaffed because that's where a lot of undocumented immigrants end up working. Construction crews no longer fully staffed. So you'll have a gigantic part of the workforce missing, gone, just gone. It'd be an expensive humanitarian disaster. Oh, well, yeah, Americans fill those jobs. No, I doubt a lot of them will. Because a lot of American, a lot of the studies that they have and examples, they have examples of this, where American workers will go in and do those jobs that were formerly, you know, done by immigrants, migrants, people on temporary work visas, things like that, and they end up quitting because it's hard, brutal work. It's hard labor, and there's not enough pay, and the work, again, is just brutal. So good luck staffing that. Okay, good luck. This will be a bigger boondoggle than Donald Trump's space wall or whatever. Okay, so again, that's the reality of what's going on here. Look, in this election, you've got two choices, right? Unfortunately, I wish we had more. But one choice is endless lies and xenophobia. The other choice is the status quo. And as much as I don't like the status quo, I think there's a lot of shortcomings in it. I think it's preferable to what we would get with another 4 years of Donald Trump, which would just be an absolute disaster. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.